TSQ Network, the Smoking Quotes podcast with yours truly, C.H.A.R.M. You already know how to spell it by now. C.H.A.R.M. Y'all know what the acronym mean. Cash, honestly, ain't real money. They ask like, what do I mean by that? A lot of people keep asking me this. People don't understand when you talk about the value of cash, right? And when people say, oh, the dollar losing its value, what do that mean for us? I'm gonna tell you what it means. C.H.A.R.M, man, cash, honestly, ain't real money, the acronym that stands for value, right here on TSQ Network, the Smoking Quotes podcast, talk radio show. I'm gonna cut through the red tape and just tell you how it is. Alright? You need to continue to do business the way you're doing, alright? But you need to adopt and accept a new, but I can't say it's new, because nothing is new under the sun. We're actually going back in time. Yeah, there's some back to the future type thing right here. Alright? You need to continue to do business as you are, but you need to accept a payment method. If you want to continue to accept cash, debit, credit, checks, money orders, wires, Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, hey man, the list goes on, Bitcoin. You need to adopt the payment method of gold and silver into your business model. Alright? Hear me out. You have a choice. You need to switch to dollars. Alright? Today on the show, I'm gonna go a little deeper into this gold and silver, because see, people don't understand. Most of the time, especially people from my community, when you hear about gold and silver, you just think, you think about jewelry. You only seen gold and silver. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, we've never seen real money before. Never. You ain't never seen real money before. If you look at the Federal Reserve note, man, I literally don't even have none. I wish I could pull it out and examine it with you, but if you read the note, there's a note written on there. There's 2 signatures. There's many different forms of artwork on this bill, on that cash, on that fiat, on that promissory note, on that Federal Reserve note. But I believe it say this is legal tender for public and debt, public and private debt, right? That's a note, y'all. That's a promissory note. It's a note saying that I promise to pay you. It's an I owe you letter. So if I give you some of this and I owe you, and I give it to you, I'm really just writing you a letter saying that I promise to pay you, that I owe you. And we all know the history. Back in the day, gold and silver was backing the dollars. But see, you gotta look at your dollar today. At the top of that banner, when you looking at George Washington's face, right, on that dollar, on the top it used to say silver certificate. What do it say now? What do it say now? It says Federal Reserve notes. Alright? It ain't bagged by silver no more. You used to have a bill that was a gold certificate to say gold certificate at the top. So now when they say Federal Reserve note, y'all, it's just a note, it's just paper. Alright? You know the history after 1971, what happened. You know the history in 1933, what happened. If you don't, go do your homework. I just gave you some homework. Y'all understand? People put their lives on the line for this money. People go to work and work and work and retire and have to work some more for this money. It ain't got no value. It's a debt note. It can't do nothing but put you in debt. It is for debtors and debtors only. Are you a debtor? If you is, it belong to you then. You love cash? If I gave you an option to take gold or cash, which one you would choose? That's how I'm gonna know if you still under the spell or not. Now, I'm journey. I want you to take this journey with me, right? Just walk with me. I'm gonna show you how now, being that we've never seen real money before, and when you hear gold and silver, you just think about jewelry, or you just think about, bullions, coins, and bars, that you will just hold in your vault or put it up in a stash spot, in case the apocalypse comes, some shit like that, right? Now you're able to use gold and silver in your everyday transactions. How we gonna do that, Charm? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm already within the network. I can bring you into the network, and I'm gonna gift you. I'm gonna give you a gift for coming to the network. All you gotta do is say, hey man, I accept gold and silver as payment, and I wanna use gold and silver, when I go shopping, when I spend. I wanna practice sound money. It only take you and another individual to agree to the same terms of this money, which is gold, right, and silver, and it's up to the discrepancy of the two merchants. All right, and it's just that simple. We're gonna go over the $1 paradox, the real value versus the fiat price. I'm gonna talk about that with y'all, but I want you to know that you can use gold backs. That's what I'm pushing, y'all. That's what you gotta know about. Gold backs. What are gold backs? If you never heard of a gold back before, I want you to imagine your cash in the same denominations that it come in once. You got a $2 bill. Hey, shout out to the state of Idaho. They came out with a $3 gold back. All right. And don't forget, you got a $half and you got a $quarter gold backs too. Now, it's thin as paper, but it's real 24 karat gold. It ain't gold plated, all right? It's real money. You don't need the central banks, you don't need the treasurer, you don't need the state to back it. Why? Because it's a gold back. It's backed by the gold that it's made out of, man. If it say it's 1,000th of a troy ounce of gold, if it says 1,000th of a troy ounce of gold, that's what it is. If it's 100th of a troy ounce of gold, that's the fraction of the gold, y'all. That's the weight of it. When you're dealing with gold and silver, you're not dealing with price no more. You're dealing with the weight. Dig that? You're dealing with the weight and the value. Excuse me, y'all. I got a pit in the studio, and he was trying to get my attention. But yeah, the gold backs is just like your cash dipped in 24 karat gold, man. You able to spend this, all around the world. It's global. It's an international constitutional money. All right. The 24 karat gold is made with a new technology. It's a technology that they have now, and they've been producing these gold backs since 2019. And the reason I'm talking about it is because I practice sound money. I use gold backs. I spend gold backs, y'all, in my everyday transaction. This is what I do. I conveyed my practices over from cash and fiat over to gold backs. And again, they come in the same denominations just like your cash, as I was saying earlier. Ones, twos, fives, tens. You got a $25 gold back. You got a $50 gold back and a $100 gold back, y'all. Now the buying power, if you compare the gold backs to a United States dollar estimated value, it's gonna be more. It takes more cash to amount to this one gold back. So for example, you got a $1 gold back, you looking at like $10 worth of things that you can purchase. That's the purchase and buying power that you have with this $1 gold back. And have a one on it, just like the $1 bill with George Washington on it. But this one will have a 1 on it, and then whatever state actually is, issuing and distributing them. I believe it's about 13 states now that's doing gold backs. Yeah, I could name them. I probably can't name all of them. I know on our side of the country, you got New Hampshire, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, right? It's more of them, of course, Idaho, I believe Wyoming. Don't forget Washington, D.C. Of course, California, Nevada, Utah. It started out in Utah and Nevada. Georgia, which I waiting on. Alabama, Mississippi. Y'all know the South is always, the South got a lot of buck in their system. But, yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. You need to switch the dollar that you're doing business with so you can gain buying power, all right? And I'm going to go over this paradox with y'all in a minute. Your boy C.H.A.R.M, Cash Honest Lane Real Money. I wanna play a clip for y'all. Y'all know how I do. I'm gonna play a clip. I want y'all to listen to a clip. I'm gonna find a clip real quick from Mr. Jeremy Corden, right? He's the founder of Goldback Incorporated. Y'all can jump on board with this ASAP, man. This is the platform where you can get informed. I'm gonna actually just give y'all, real wisdom comes with instructions. Things that you can apply, man. Something you can start using and utilizing in your life ASAP. As soon as possible. So let me play this clip.
This is the first form of gold that's easily divisible and usable for everyday purchases, whereas before you had to have 100 copper pennies and 1 silver dollar, and 20 silver dollars was 1 gold piece. We can't do that anymore. We use our silver in our technology. We use our copper in our electrical wiring.
That's right.
We can't go back to copper, silver, gold.
That's right.
We have to use just gold, and we can break it down and put it in vaults. But a lot of people, they want the privacy and the ability to have it in their hands. We're going to see that a greater percentage of people in the precious metal space own gold backs. I think gold backs will define the precious metal space within the next 5 to 10 years.
Okay. Well, gold backs, they've more than doubled in value since they came out in 2019. So the price of gold backs have been going up, and they've actually been going up faster than gold coins or gold bars. The value of any money, including US dollars, is determined by supply and demand, right? So, versus how many gold backs there are, the market puts them, right around $4 right now. In fact, I think they're slightly over that. What we do to determine their value and to make it easy for people so they don't have to, pull out their calculator, is we go through the major retailers that sell gold backs, and we come up with an average price for gold backs, and we post that on goldback.com. In fact, we have a calculator on goldback.com, so you can calculate out, if you want to do a transaction with gold backs, how many gold backs you owe somebody. I think that this could be the future of money. I think that central banks are going to destroy their own currencies. The good news for central banks is they own half the investment grade gold on Earth, right? And they're going to have to look for something else. Look at Zimbabwe right now. You can read an article about Zimbabwe. They're making tiny, tiny, tiny gold coins in hopes that people in Zimbabwe will use them as money. Don't you think they'd rather have something like this? If that's their goal, is to get gold to circulate as money. There's about a dozen foreign central banks right now that are trying to get their populations to use gold directly as money for circulation.
Why so?
Because their other currencies have failed. They don't have any other better options. If nobody trusts the money in Zimbabwe, then you got to make a product that works or your economy falls apart.
TSQ Network, the Smoking Quote podcast, that was a couple clips that I kind of took it from different places, but that was Mr. Jeremy Corden from Goldback Incorporated, just touching on some of the facts dealing with goldbacks, the growth of it. Now you gotta know, a lot of these videos I played was from years ago, y'all. So goldback started at like $2 and some change, right? I think some of those interviews, he was saying that at that time the goldbacks were $4 and some change, right? Right now, a goldback, if I go to goldback.com right now, you're gonna see goldbacks are $8. And this is just today, July 16th, 2026. I shouldn't have gave a date for this because there's no telling when you guys will hear this. But $8.67. So it's, it's shy of $9. So you can see the value of the goldbacks, and just gold period in the market has been rising. All right. So if it started off at $2 and it's damn near at $9 now, what you think it's about to do? I remember when I first initially got turned on to goldbacks through one of my great mentors, Dr. Bay. Goldbacks was over $10, y'all. Right. So right now, just the standard. I mean, they're saying the market price will be, the standard market price will be posted up on goldbacks. But I mean, all of the goldbacks that I've used, y'all, they have been accepted as $10 in value. Now, that may not be the same this time next year. I mean, who's to say $1 goldback won't reach up to $20? I think that's possible. Just keeping arbitrage in mind. I mean, just from you as a goldback member, or just even being a merchant of UPMA, and I got to get y'all to get more familiar with the United Precious Metals Association as well too. You wanna get you a UPMA account ASAP. I don't even deal with my bank, y'all. I promise y'all, my bank accounts are ghost town, and it's been like that all year. Cause I've been inside of UPMA getting busy. And this is something that we want to go ahead and be ahead of the curve on. We actually late to the party. If they've been out since 2019 and we're in the year 26, and you're just now hearing this, there's no telling when you will actually hear this recording. You may be already late to the party. But being late is better than never, right? I've used goldbacks, y'all. I mean, at barbershops, getting haircuts. The most well-known places I would say is at a C.H.A.R.M gas station, a Subway, a restaurant. I've used them at restaurants. I bought food. I bought many things with goldbacks. When I first got them, I had maybe spent $1,000 within 30 days, right, of goldbacks. I could tell a story about, because I got to a point to where when I tried to use the goldbacks, it's like you got to come with a lot of dialogue and explaining, of course, because it's new to people. People has never seen real money. So what I started to do was, and this is what I did this particular night. I needed some gas. I was out. I stopped at a Chevron gas station out in Atlanta, right? Off of Metropolitan Parkway, right? So what I would do now is when I go and buy my goods and stuff out of the stores, when it's time for me to pay, if I'm in my phone, whatever, how you multitasking when you at the register. You shouldn't be on your phone when you're at the register. That's kind of rude. But I would just do it like it was normal. When it's time for me to pay for it, I pull the goldbacks out and just put it up there, and just, whistle, and when they grab it, of course, they're so allured by being gold, so that automatically attracts them. So then they're like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "You said it was $40. I was trying to get $50 on Palm 9, right?" And the guy was like, "Well, I don't know. I don't think we can accept these." I was like, "Well, I said it's gold dollars. I mean, it's real money. It's actually 24 karat gold. It's not, it's not plated or anything like that. So, if you give me $50 on Palm 9, the gold is yours." And he was like, "I don't know, man. I only work here. I would have to ask the supervisor or something like that." So I just said, "Okay, no problem." I just grabbed the goldbacks and I walked out the store. Yeah, I kid you not. Before I could get to my car, this guy came from behind the counter, walked outside the store, and was like, hey. I came back and I said, "Oh, you ready?" And he was like, man, hey, I want one of those. Now, this guy may have, I don't really know his nationality, but, you know, I'm going to be honest. When it comes to, you know, the Moors, the black people, when they see the gold, they just like, hey, man, just give me the cash, man. You know, we used to seeing gold as like, hey, I can't spend that, man, or nah, I don't want that. I mean, it's gold, but, you know, they don't get it. But, you know, people that's from Pakistan, Afghanistan, you know, some of these people from India or wherever they may from, Bosnia, these people are from different countries to where they have lived in third world countries and other countries where they've seen their currency and their dollar collapse. You know, the United States, you know, it's going on over here in the States, but we unaware because they got us under a spell and they keep us distracted with, you know, sports, entertainment, you know, all of the bullshit. But the guy came back out, he came outside of the store, flagged me down before I could get to my car, man. And basically we worked it out. He took the gold backs, he put the gas on the pump 9 for me. And basically that was that. You know, I had got gas using gold backs. And I'm in Georgia. This is a state that's not considered a gold currency accepting, you know, legal tender state, right? It don't, you know, here we don't accept gold and silver as a legal tender yet. But that's crazy because the Constitution says that the only legal tender that should be considered should be gold and silver. But you know, supply and demand is big, so whatever the people are demanding is what they must obey. So it's on us, y'all. The power is in the people as it always has been. So if I already made my mind up, and once you deal with the actual buying power, right? And that's what we're about to get into now. I'm about to go over, as promised, the dollar paradox, right? We're gonna go over the dollar paradox. Let me see if I can get a little volume with that. I don't want y'all to think I'm about to make a song here, but you know, here on the Talk Radio Show on THQ Network, the Smoking Quote podcast, I do keep it somewhat musical. You will hear music in the background, and hey, that's just my style of podcast. You know, that's my platform. That's how I'm rocking. So, on a platform where you can get informed, I'm gonna go over the dollar paradox, right? And I'm gonna see if I can get this posted so you guys can actually see it and go over with it. But basically, it's the $1 paradox, where real value versus fiat price, right? And we're gonna talk about what the difference is. Like when you're dealing with gold and silver, like these gold coins, whether they're bullions or bars or gold backs, you're dealing with the weight and you're dealing with the value of it. Because gold and silver never actually changes. It's always gonna be 1 ounce of gold, 24 karat gold, right? No matter what, it don't change. Now, what actually changes is the value of the dollar. Some people beg to differ, but the dollar is actually going through inflation. So that's that roller coaster when you see it going up and down. It's the actual dollar. But the dollar itself, you know, I can agree to the perspective that, you know, a dollar is a dollar. $100 bill is $100 bill. It's not losing its value, but it's all about what you're able to acquire with that $100 bill, what you're able to actually buy. So if the prices in the public is raised high, there's a rise in price, then that $100 bill won't be able to get you the same amount of items when you're shopping as it did, you know, in the past. So that's how, you know, inflation is all laid out and how the dollar is losing its value through inflation. So to hedge against inflation, you cut out the central banks and all of that when you decide to deal with gold backs. And I'm using gold backs specifically because there's no other product in precious metals, whether it's a bullion, a bar, or a coin, that you can use easily that's broken down in such a fraction that can be used on a daily basis. The gold back in the same denominations from a $1 bill to a $100 bill. Now, what you got to understand is the $1 paradox with real value. When you're dealing with the gold and silver, that's the real value. When you're dealing with the Federal Reserve note, that's fiat price. And we just kind of went through that. It determines on what the dollar can actually buy. Now, on the left side, it will show you everything under. On one side, you have the 1 ounce American Silver Eagle. That's the most recognized coin, in the country, right, or in the world almost. The 1 ounce American Eagle. That's a 1 ounce silver coin. And then on the other side, right, if you could put this in your head, on the other side you have a $1 bill, which is a $1 Federal Reserve note. Now, the 1 ounce American Silver Eagle is what you would call sound money. It's denominated as $1 by the U.S. Mint. Its value is based on its physical silver content, currently valued at $100 for this comparison. A bearer instrument containing physical silver historically hedges against currency risk and inflation. All right. Now we're gonna go to the other side when you're talking about versus that will be the $1 Federal Reserve note. All right, what you would call fiat currency. It's a fiat paper currency that serves as a medium of exchange but lacks intrinsic value, often locks in purchasing power due to inflation and debt monetization. All right, a debt-based currency with no intrinsic value that loses purchasing power over time as the money supply expands. That's what the paper dollar is. Now, the purchasing power showdown, on one side under the, silver and gold column, right, you can see that if you spent $3.70 on a gallon of gas, right, just using this $1, for example, this is the $1 paradox. So if I was using a silver dollar, right, or a gold dollar, and I was paying $3.70 per gallon, I would be able to actually acquire 27 gallons of fuel for a full SUV using the 1 ounce American Silver Eagle. Now, at the gas pump, now on the other side, using this $1 Federal Reserve note, I will barely cover the cost of a few cups of fuel for $3.70 a gallon. Now, we paying way more than that, but you would get 0.27 gallons. Now, 27 gallons versus 0.27 gallons is the difference. Do you see that spread? Let's use another example because we're going to say eggs, right? The dairy dilemma would be, let's say a gallon of milk is $4.05, and I was using gold and silver. A massive supply for a household, I would be able to actually acquire 25 gallons at $4.05 a gallon using a Silver Eagle or a gold back, for example. I would be able to acquire 25 gallons of milk. Now, if I was paying the same price, right, $4.05 a gallon using fiat currency, I will only be able to afford 0.25 gallons of milk. That buys only a single quart. All right, you will only be able to afford a quart, and you like, that don't make sense. Let's use the egg example. All right, so the egg test. If I was using precious metals, sound money, for $2 a dozen, right? If a carton of eggs with a dozen eggs in it was $2, right? Using precious metals, or what you would call sound money, I would be able to provide myself with 600 eggs at $2 a dozen, all right? Because if I use $2, that's like $200 in USD. But it's only $2 in Silver Eagles. I would be able to get 50 dozen eggs. 50 dozen. If I use $2 in USD currency, the fiat, I will only be able to get like 6 eggs, y'all. 6 eggs versus 50 dozens. So you got 600 eggs versus 6 eggs. Now you see why you want to switch over and use that dollar, that gold back. That's why. So it also explains, and again, imagine in your head you have on the left side everything that you would be able, your buying power with sound money, and then on the right side, what your buying power would be with the Federal Reserve note. Under sound money, under the precious metals, the gold and silver column, it says price is an illusion and value is a reality when you're dealing with precious metals. Precious metals don't technically go up. Rather, the paper dollar goes down from physical reality. By holding physical metal, individuals newly the effect of the Federal Reserve debt-based system. So the bankers' slavery mechanism, inflation, is a tool that they use against you. All right. So now when you're dealing with the fiat, let's say the sound money principles, right? But using this USD currency, wealth is measured by accumulating physical weight, right? With sound money, it's about the weight and the value. So wealth is measured by accumulating physical weight, ounces, rather than depreciating fiat numbers on a screen or a database entry, right? Using inflation to steal wealth by depreciating the paper dollar while the physical weight of silver maintains its utility, all right? And that's the truth. That's the truth. So now you can see the comparison between sound money and fiat currency. Right here on the TSQ Network, the Smoke and Quote podcast with your boy C.H.A.R.M. Just breaking down why you should understand why you need to switch over to the correct dollar in your business model. Pay me in gold. That's the name of the game. Pay me in gold, y'all. I appreciate y'all for listening. I was going to make this short and brief.